Happy Friday, and welcome back to We're Your Girls.
Hi, guys. We missed ya.
So much. So much. And we're drinking this week. Last week, you saw us drinking coffee. This week, we're back in alcohol. Why? Because democracy is burning.
It's true.
We're introducing this week's guest, who is an icon, a legend, a host, a producer, a model, and all around, truly, truly one of my favorite people, not just in the industry, but living in New York. That is Kamie Crawford.
And I am here and I am in wig, in fashion.
Period and wig.
Thank you.
We have to get right into it. Kamie, how does it feel to be the coldest one to ever do it?
Child, let me tell you something.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels great. No, I'm just kidding. I was just talking about this earlier. You know, in life, imposter syndrome can creep up on anybody.
For sure.
And
You
it creeps
certainly
up
don't
on
have
me.
Really?
Nah.
Yes.
No.
Every once in a while.
No.
Every once in a while. Every once in a blue moon. Honestly, every luteal phase. Every
enough.
luteal phase, I'm like, who am I? What am
Yeah.
I doing? What's my purpose? Who the fuck is listening?
And then you start bleeding and everything's fine.
And then I'm like, oh, this has nothing to do
My
with
mom
me.
calls it the great flush.
And she's correct.
Yeah.
But I feel very blessed to do what I do. On my way here, I was walking to the subway and like five black girls came out of Blank Street Coffee. Shout out to y'all.
Period.
And they were like, can we please get a picture with you? Like, we love you. We watch you. We listen to the podcast. That is when I know that I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
It really isn't like as I'm doing the work. It is when I meet the people who are paying attention.
Yeah.
Because like you can work as hard as you want, like until, for me at least, like when I feel like it's being recognized in the places that I want it to be recognized, then I feel like I've done a good
I
job.
like what you said,
word.
focusing on the people that are paying attention, because I think it's easy in this industry to get distracted by how many people like aren't paying attention. And really, it's not that you want attention; it's that you want to be seen, like be
Yes.
You want to
respected,
be heard, respected.
Yes.
because you're working hard, and you want
Especially
people
when
to
you're
respect your
creating.
work.
Like, what's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
Like, if Picasso made 1,000 paintings and nobody ever saw him, like, did he paint?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He still was painting.
He was still
He's
painting.
still painting.
Still
And
painting.
he's still an artist, and so therefore
Yeah.
it's really cool that you say, so instead focus on the people that do see you and are paying attention, because frankly they're the most important ones. Everybody
Yes.
listening to this show, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
I'm so grateful. It's just so much fun, and so thank you for touching on that, because it's good to hear, but also incredible to hear that somebody who's literally a model, literally Miss Teen USA 2010.
Girl.
Damn near visual perfection personified.
Absolutely.
Thank
Oh
you.
my
God.
God.
But you know, that was when I was 17. I did my first pageant at 16, Miss Maryland
Really?
Teen USA. Miss Teen USA was my second pageant ever.
No way.
I had never watched pageants. I was never like,
Flex.
I
honestly.
just didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. And then I joined, and it was a whirlwind. But I'm 32 now. I don't do math. What is that? How many
Girl,
years?
you
A
got
lot
the
of
wrong
years.
two.
14, 13 years ago? 12? Somebody listening is like, it's 12. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was many, many moons ago. And so I think it comes down to longevity, the type of person you are, being a kind person, being a humble person, being about your business, not playing around, not letting people play with you.
Yeah.
That's how you stay in the game. Because like getting in the game is not difficult.
That's hard, because I get played with.
Gets tried.
Honestly, I wouldn't say it. I get played.
Who's playing with you?
I get bamboozled.
No.
I've got to say that. I want to sit here and be like, I don't play,
Yeah.
and I don't get played. I frequently get played.
I play and I get played off. But you know,
and
I
I'm
got
trying to
played
stop.
too. I got played too.
Tell us
in the
about
beginning.
it. Tell us about you getting played, because it's hard to imagine you sitting here getting played.
Because you're the one.
Yeah, not the one actually.
You're not the one. You're the
Exactly.
coldest one to ever do it. Crawford.
Exactly. In the beginning of my TV hosting career, I was doing a lot of like spots on local news. So like lifestyle spots, like what to get your mom for Mother's Day,
cute.
best outfits for fall, whatever. And that's how I like got my start. And so I would have these brands. First, I was picking stuff like out of my own closet and like out of my mom's stuff. I'm like, give me that perfume and give me that sweater because I'm going to use it on the air tomorrow. And I was using pageant girls that I was recruiting from Facebook. I would like put a message out and be like, I'm going to be in Connecticut tomorrow at 6 a.m. Who can meet me?
Yeah.
And have girls come and like, that's how I did it. Had never done that before. I didn't know what I was doing, but like I would say yes to everything and just like make it work, figure it out. But in the beginning, I started doing it like with my own stuff, but then I started reaching out to brands, or brands started reaching out to me and being like, we would love to send you all of these products to showcase in your segment. I'm like, oh my God, amazing. Like, these brands are reaching out to me. They want to send me product. Like, so now I have a literally suitcase full of products that I'm going to take on to the news. I'm paying for a rental car so that I can drive to New Haven, Connecticut from Manhattan, which is like a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, getting glam, getting ready, going there, doing the whole grind, doing my segment, paying for like my own stuff, like to make sure that I look good, and then driving back, and I'm doing all this work, and I was never getting paid.
Not the lack of pay.
I was never getting paid. It wasn't even so much that like the network should have paid me, because that's not really how that works, but the brands should have been paying me.
Yeah, for sure.
For
and
placement.
I did not know. I didn't know. And I didn't know to
You
ask.
don't know what you don't know.
And they would not have told you either.
Would not have told me.
Yeah.
When I first got started, my manager's in the room. She's gonna laugh about this. So when I first got started, I was working at the call center, okay, and my video went viral, and like the first brand ever reached out to me, like right after I had my first viral video, and I was like, oh my God, and they were gonna pay me $3,000 to do 10 videos.
Crazy.
And I thought, my
Blasphemy.
God. I thought I'm gonna be rich. I was like,
I can quit.
Take that to the bank.
Moving on up, baby.
I thought I'm buying a house. God damn it! I had never seen that much money in my life.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I was getting paid $17 an hour.
Yep.
At a job that I also got played at. I was getting played left, right, and center. I was
You
a
were the
walking
game.
doormat.
You were the game.
You weren't getting played.
I look
You
like
were the
Mr.
game.
I look like Mr. Monopoly walking around. Like, hello. I was a damn fool. My nickname was Uno. I got played more than anybody. And so I was like, oh my God, $3,000. And I remember this brand, I shall not name names. They are a huge brand. Who knows better?
And that's the thing. They do know.
You know.
They
And
know.
You knew that I didn't have management.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you right now.
Yeah. You and me.
Because we've since
Me and you.
Exactly.
Me and you, we're going to talk just you and me. One-on-one.
Yes.
You know I didn't have management.
Yeah.
You know I didn't know what I was doing. And you know that was not a fair rate for what you had asked for. Now, maybe for one video, because I was a smaller creator, fine. 10? And
10 is bananas.
and you
No.
had rights in perpetuity. You got
That's
to use my image
bananas.
forever. But guess what I did, everybody?
Not that you
I said,
said.
send me the contract. Signed it right away. It's giving Ariel when she
Yes.
was like, just your voice. And she
Sing
like
for me.
signed it. She was like, I'm drowning. They sent her up to earth. She couldn't walk. She could barely use her new legs.
Was
And
naked.
the crazy part is that $3,000 was not tax free.
And it was not
So
tax
Lord,
free.
they was taxing you too.
I was taxing me too. And so I was just Ariel, couldn't talk, didn't know where the capsule was.
For $1,500.
That's crazy.
So anyway, I signed this deal. They sent me over this form where they wanted me to like fill in 10 scripts. This is a ton of work. If you are a creator, you know,
Scripts?
they
That's
wanted me to write
insane.
full 10 scripts for you in use. I mean, this is, if you're listening, now granted, I'm not going to sit here and be like 3,000 is nothing. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Sure, especially to me at the time, that was a ton of money. But for the amount of work they were asking for and the use of my name
Your
and
likeness,
likeness, in perpetuity means forever.
Yeah.
That means that even now, this was years ago, they could have reran those ads at the same rate. And
Yeah.
that's just not good business.
And just for
It's not
scale,
good business.
the influencer that you love the most would have been getting paid in the millions for content like that.
Oh,
for
sure.
10
For
videos.
sure.
Videos.
10
Now, mind you,
scripted videos with
I might be the
approval?
influencer you
Oh
love the
my
most. I've
God.
never
Right.
gotten paid millions.
I'm talking about, the top
But the
influencers
top,
that you
top,
know,
yeah.
the top beauty girls, the top lifestyle girls,
Yeah.
in the millions. First of all, I don't think their teams would even agree unless it was like a partnership, like
Yeah.
a full-on partnership
Yeah.
that came with like,
Yeah, 10 videos.
An
is
endorsement.
a ton. That's
Yeah,
that's a full
exactly.
campaign.
Yes.
And that's a ton of stuff. And that's me endorsing a product for basically forever.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know any of this. I was so naive. And so I met my manager for coffee and we got talking, who is now my manager, but she was at the time just a really lovely woman who had a feeling I was in over my head. And then she realized very quickly I was. And at the end of the coffee date, I was like, well, I'll think about it. Because she said, I really think that you can do this full time. I think that you could do this for a living. And I was like, I don't know. I'm up for promotion at the call center. I don't know. And then I was on the way out, I was like, and by the way, if you want to like peruse the contract I just signed, I think that might be cool. And I sent it to her and she said, please tell me you didn't sign this. And I was like,
Had you signed it?
DocuSign.
Does
Hit
I
finish.
was like,
I
does
know.
DocuSign count?
Send.
Yeah, I'd signed it. I signed it the moment I got it.
So I'm assuming Shows was like,
So the
fuck
first thing
that.
she did is I signed with her, and she got me out of that contract.
Oh,
Go
thank
Shows.
God.
And it was the first thing that she did.
God.
I'm canceling that contract. No. Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't want her to.
Yeah.
Because I was like, are you sure that this is a ton of money? And I don't want anybody. I was really scared in the beginning. I said this a lot. I don't want anyone to be mad at me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I didn't want to let
That's
anyone
real.
down. I don't want anyone to think badly of me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I had to learn really quickly is in the business world, to be frank, they're not thinking about you at all.
No.
They're not thinking about your
No.
moral character or who you are, how you are. You
No.
are
You fit a brief
You fit
for
a
a very
brief, yes.
specific amount of time.
And
And it's
that's
not
it.
as nefarious as it sounds, I don't think.
No.
It's not nefarious to say you fit
No,
a
it's just
brief.
business.
But it's just
It's
business.
And
not
if every
personal.
transaction that we did every week was super emotional,
Yeah.
we could never get anything done.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, it's just interesting how much you learn, and
Mhm.
oh man, it's like I look back and sometimes I get embarrassed, but I'm not embarrassed because I didn't
Yeah.
know any better.
No.
It is what
no.
it is. And guess what? That $3K plus more check came in later.
It did.
and
Yes.
for far more fair terms.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
So
So
before
anyways,
we go any further, we
yeah.
have to toast to that. To 3K and more.
3K.
Wait, hold on, guys.
and
We can't
many,
toast
many
that.
more.
Why?
I don't think it's a good idea.
3 billion.
To 3 billion more.
Why
okay,
not?
fine. Please.
I
The
don't know.
one toast I propose is shut the fuck down.
Tiffany wants
To 3K.
I don't like the cheers to money. I don't think that's in good
Cheers to
taste.
money.
Amen to that.
And lots of
All
it.
right, we're gonna cheers to money.
Period.
I
Everybody
do
wants a
like
little
it.
money.
To coin. Ain't nothing wrong
Cheers
with
to
that.
the
Alright.
coin.
Cheers.
Sure. Why not?
Mm.
Listen, everybody else is getting their coin. I'm
That's
going to get
true.
mine.
Okay, so boom.
I'm not that girl.
I'm going to get mine.
I need to start a notebook of all the gems you are no doubt about to drop on us.
I
in
know,
this
Kamie.
amount of
I'm
time.
so ready. On that note, we want to talk to Kamie. Now, Kamie, you are absolutely the relationship expert. You have a whole show called Relationship.
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard of it, but if you haven't, please go check it out.
Give it a listen.
I was on an episode.
Yes,
Oh,
you
yeah.
were.
Except for I did notice. Just kidding.
Oh my God, what?
Now while you're here.
I was gonna say I got your brief from your team. Fabulous.
What brief?
And it was just like talking about you and like your business and
Oh.
how great you are. And then it said
was like,
and it
listen,
was
do
like
that.
and it was like her show Relationship has featured notable people like
Yes.
Ashley Tisdale was like let's list of people. I didn't make the list.
Okay, but you know what? I didn't write the brief. And that's why.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you have to do everything yourself.
I sat there and I thought
Your team is like,
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry.
I thought-
Somebody will be getting a stern
wow,
email.
I guess
There
I
you
just
go.
haven't quite made
there
it.
you go.
Someone will be
Okay.
getting a stern email after this.
A stern email.
A stern one.
I'm the queen of a stern email these
Are
days.
you?
Are you?
I'm tired of pussyfooting around the bush.
Damn it, Kamie.
Yeah!
I'm gonna learn so fucking much.
I'm renaming
I'm
the show.
tired.
No more pussyfooting around the bush.
I'm
not
tired.
around the bush.
Brazilian wax that.
I'm sick of it. I feel as millennials,
Yeah.
I'm speaking for all of us, right?
Semi.
We have
I
somebody
technically
Gen Z.
She's
Zers
younger than
hate
both
to
of
say
us.
it. Don't call me out. Sorry.
But
I'm
you know
turning
what?
27.
Gen Zers speak up for themselves,
They
and
do.
millennials can learn something from that.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Because as a 32-year-old millennial,
Uh-huh.
the whole like apologizing thing, I'm over it.
Mm.
The whole, I'm so sorry, I did. Like, yes, in certain situations,
I'm really
you can
bad with that.
apologize.
Yeah.
But in others, like, I actually think I sent this already. Bitch, you know
You
you sent it
definitely
already,
did.
and you know that you got it. I sent it last week
Mm-hmm.
at 10:20 a.m.
Got the receipt.
PST.
Period.
Where's my response? Like, and,
Yeah.
and then you get an email back from someone, and they're like, oh, we never received that. I think I actually sent it last week. No.
Mm-mm.
I sent it last week at this time. Please let
Yeah.
me know if you have any trouble opening it.
Yeah.
Please let me know if you haven't received it yet. I'm getting to the point in my life where I think I just need to be more direct. Like I value that, and other people are doing that.
And I'm so annoyed with myself all the time because I'm so in the clutches. I'm trying to get out of it, but I certainly am. I'll just admit it here. I am so still conditioned to make sure everybody thinks I'm nice.
Yes.
Like being nice is still so important to me.
Yeah.
And I think there's a difference between valuing kindness and being good to people, but not letting yourself get, I'm not gonna say walked all over. I'm not walking outside and getting walked all over, but at
No.
the same
Yeah.
time, like
Yeah.
I went to the eye doctor last week and I noticed in that single appointment, I apologized to the doctor like 9 times because I'm really bad at the eye doctor. I don't like people touch my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But there was just so many times when I I said, where do I sit? And he said, oh, just there. And I looked and I noticed that I just missed the chair. I'm nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm sorry. And I sat down. And then he goes, oh, you have contacts on? And I said, yes. And then he said, how about you go take those out over there? And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. And he was like, did anyone tell you to take them off? And I said, no. And he was like, well, then why are you sorry?
Would you know? Yeah.
And then when somebody says, why are you sorry? Now you've tongue twisted.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate it because then I'm like, and then I said,
no.
he said, why are you sorry? And I said, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And then I was like,
sorry that
I've
sorry.
apologized to you
I
8
apologize.
times.
On my way out the door, I said, I'm sorry to the janitor, to the front desk girl. I said, I'm sorry
the
to this
door?
old lady sitting,
Literally.
to the lady sitting in the lobby. I said, I'm sorry it took so long. I've known you've been around here waiting. And she said, who are you?
Yeah. She's like,
I don't know who
don't
you
talk
are.
to me.
I'm screaming.
I said, I'm so sorry. And I just get into, and I hate that. I don't think it's cute. I actually don't think that I don't necessarily
it's not
think
serving you in any way.
It's not serving me or anyone else.
But
I
it's
learned
layered.
something in business, which is interesting. People have taken my sorries as I'm inadequate in some capacity. So I'm learning by trial by fire, essentially, to stop apologizing for everything because people don't like it.
Yes.
And I apologize
You
because
feel
I'm
like
like,
they don't like it?
I feel like people do not like to be held accountable for things that they don't need to be held accountable for. Or like,
To feel
I said it
badly.
backwards. Yes, I'm
Yes.
holding myself accountable for something they didn't do to me. So I learned in business, or I'm learning in business. They're like, why are you apologizing? All you did was interrupt me during a Zoom call. And I'm like, I'm sorry. You were talking and I overtalked. And they're like, you didn't.
Yeah.
And now we're all uncomfortable because I done made you feel like
Now
you
I'm
overtalked.
anxious.
Okay.
Look at the camera.
Right?
Now I feel bad.
Hey,
Correct.
to anyone I've said I'm sorry to, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry,
Sorry
for saying I'm
about
sorry.
I am so sorry. If I
My
said I'm
bad, I
sorry
apologize.
in a way that
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
but it's
Exactly.
a layered thing
It is.
because it's a woman thing,
For sure.
for one,
Yeah.
on a base level.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a woman of color thing, a black woman thing.
Speak on it.
Like, we have this tendency to feel like, and I am saying this about myself as well, that we're lucky to just be there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm lucky to
Yeah.
just be in
That's
the
how I feel.
room.
Yep.
And so while I'm here, I need to be as kind as I can be to every single person here. I need to make it a thing that, like, you will want me back.
Yeah.
Because if I do one wrong thing, if I say one wrong thing, if I speak up for myself one time, who's to say? You may
Suddenly I'm
say,
difficult.
that bitch,
Yeah.
never have her back here again.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you hear
no.
these stories of these huge folks that are, awful in like on the exact opposite
Girl,
side of
they're
the
nasty.
spectrum. They're not saying sorry for things they should be sorry for.
Exactly.
And that,
Exactly.
and they're not thinking about it. I don't think that's any excuse. I think you
No.
should treat people well. Everyone I know in this room agrees. You treat people
Yes.
well. You treat people with respect. But that does not necessarily translate to I'm sorry all
Yes.
the time, or
true.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's kind of a good idea. Maybe I might kind of know how to do this next part if you guys might listen to me. That language I can't stand when I hear it come out of my mouth,
Yeah.
and I'm really trying to stop, but it's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
hard.
It's
It
it's
is.
an active pursuit.
It is.
For myself included.
Yeah. What does
So-
that journey look like for you? Like, in having your own business, what does that look like getting to where you are now, the fearless badass that we all know?
Honestly, this has been a radical year-long pursuit of mine. Like, this has only been in the past year that I've been like, fuck that. Like,
Wow.
why am I doing that constantly? Why am I apologizing in advance for like, I know what kind of work I produce. I know who I am. I
Yeah.
know what I bring to the table. I don't need to apologize to you. I feel like if you'll do it in business, you'll do it in relationships, you'll do it in friendships, you'll do it with your family, you'll do it to yourself. And I was just like, I have to stop this. But that's honestly what it looks like, is just being active about it and like hitting that delete button, backspace, 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 when I know that I'm writing an email that
Yeah.
has what I have
acquiescing.
labeled as weak language. I don't use weak language anymore.
Good for you. And one thing I love about you, Kamie, that you
Weak
do it
language.
so well. You do it so well. One thing I've noticed is you stand up for yourself a lot, especially on social media. You are a clapback queen. You will say, you will clap right back and say, you're wrong. That's
I love
inappropriate.
when you repost people's comments on the story and you leave their profile pictures so everybody can see who it is.
You know, sometimes I say, should I post this? And then I do it anyway. Because sometimes it really is better to not. Sometimes you can protect your peace. But I feel like I have protected my peace for long enough. I used to be like quick, fast, in a hurry. I would check somebody. And then I was like, okay, now I have more of a public persona. One thing that I say can be put in a People magazine article tomorrow. So like maybe I don't. But fuck that. You
But
came into my space.
Still,
No,
but
that's right.
you still like
came
you
to
say what
mine.
you mean and you mean what you say.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's really, really cool. Do you ever find yourself we're talking about that self-doubt, imposter syndrome. Do you ever have a little voice that comes in and makes you, want to make yourself smaller or hide away? And how do you combat that?
Like on social media?
Specifically just when it comes to being a public-facing person.
I think I'm more private now than I ever was before. I used to share everything, every opinion, but like I said, I realized that like anything that I say can be used somewhere else now, or like I'll be on a red carpet and an interviewer will be like, so we saw that you posted about getting strep in your butthole. Would love to talk about that with you now. While I'm in this lovely gown. Like, yes, I had strep in my butthole. Yes, I did, because I eat street meat in New York. Don't do it.
Wait,
I didn't even know that you could
I eat it at least 3
contract
times a
strep.
week.
You can
in
get
the butthole.
strep in your butt.
What are you talking about?
Strep A in your butt.
Girl.
How did
The
it
strep
feel?
you get in your throat, you can get in your butt.
How did it feel?
The worst experience.
And it was your
Degrading.
Your butthole
Oh,
was
I'm
hurting?
sure.
Do you really want to know?
Yeah, because I eat I eat street meat all the time.
It's not halal. It was,
I love
the
halal.
chicken on a stick that
Sure
they put
do.
in a hot dog bun with the hot
Sure
sauce.
do. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Damn.
It was delicious. I was feeling nostalgic one day. I was walking back to my apartment from Times Square, and I had chicken on a stick. And it was around the time when I started dating a new guy. And I didn't know what gonorrhea was, but I assumed that that's what he gave me.
It hurt
In
that
your
bad.
butthole.
But I don't think gonorrhea comes out your butt.
I know
I
nothing
think I was
about it.
ill-informed. But
Yeah.
I was also like 24, so what did I know?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Also,
what does
love
one
it.
know?
What were you doing that you thought it was in your butthole?
well, that's the thing, and we weren't doing anything in the butthole.
So,
So,
you're
I
like,
was really
oh,
like,
why does my butthole burn?
But you're like, where did that? What was he
it's
doing?
gonorrhea.
Why am I burning?
For some reason, gonorrhea and diarrhea sound like very similar to me, so I was like, oh,
They
it's
are.
in the butt.
Close enough.
Anyway, long story short, you don't actually produce any like shit. It's just blood and mucus, and it's very, very painful. And it feels like knives coming out of your butthole.
Oh,
So I had to have a colonoscopy at 24.
oh,
That's the long story short
You
of that.
poor thing.
But these are things that people are asking me about because I talk about them.
Yeah.
Because I've said it.
Yeah.
I've posted it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe I don't talk about that.
Mm.
Maybe I leave some things to the imagination.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know?
On that note,
Yes.
so you were dating a guy at 24, etc. How has dating changed for you from your 20s into your 30s?
Long drag.
Light it, sis. Smoke it.
The frontal lobe is a real thing.
Yeah.
When that bitch cracks open,
Mm.
you can't unsee.
It's like Pandora's box.
It is very, very eye-opening. The things that I thought were important in my 20s as far as a relationship are not the things that were on my list when I was looking for my next relationship in my 30s.
What's the biggest one that is now on the list and it just wasn't on your mind before?
I have always been a very independent person.
Yeah.
Like having someone in my space all the time was never something that I cared about. Like I would rather you actually be gone. I grew up with my dad traveling for work all the time, and that was just like the way that it was.
Yeah.
So having like a male presence around all the time wasn't like a necessary thing for me. And by the time I turned 29, that was when I met my now boyfriend, I was like, actually, like as much as I am independent and like all those things are true, I want a leader. Like I want a man who's going to lead me somewhere, who has a plan for our future, who like knows what I need without me having to say it.
Period.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And in the 20s, like, I didn't give a shit about that. Like, okay, like, why are you telling me what to do?
You're like, I
Yeah.
can lead me.
I'm on a jet. I'm going somewhere.
Yeah.
You
Goodbye.
may come if you want.
You can come if you
not
want.
needed.
I don't really care. Like, I wasn't thinking that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So a man that is able to lead.
a man that is able to lead.
Was there like a canon life event that you think changed your mind in that regard, or did
Yeah.
it just come over time?
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
Girl.
Was it the
Honestly-
strap in your asshole?
Honestly, it
that's
should have
what
been
it
that.
was.
It should have been that. But my
Yeah.
frontal lobe
No.
hadn't opened at that point.
So at
Yeah.
that time you were like, strap in the asshole.
Strap
That's
in
just,
the-
it's just life.
The water off. That's
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Just another Tuesday. You took the joke
Literally.
right out of my little mouth.
Who cares? It was being in not just one, but several relationships where like I was the leader. Like I was making the decisions. I was being the one like, okay, like what's the next plan? Like where are we going?
Yeah.
And almost like anxious that they weren't going to do the thing that they promised, you know? And
You were like, I don't want to feel that way anymore.
I had to grow out of that.
Yeah.
I had to meet also a person for the first time who was that person.
Yeah.
I had never met a guy like that before. Like, what? You got plans for me?
Like, what?
You're obsessed with me? Like, what? I had never encountered that before, that kind of energy. And so, yeah, it was just, it really changed my perspective because I was like, actually, like, I'm not, like, yes, I am independent, but like, I'm not I don't need a man type of girl.
Like, do I really need to do it all? Question mark?
No, I don't have to do anything actually.
Yeah.
It's so nice. I don't have to lift a finger.
Yeah. Like the question is, am I more empowered by allowing someone to help me or am I empowered by doing it all myself?
Exactly.
And that's
And that is
and
the
I
gag.
wonder if doing it all yourself, that empowerment is sort of a faux
Yeah.
sense of safety because it's more so I love knowing that I can do it all myself.
Yes.
If I had to, I'm not frightened of the idea of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to.
I don't want
Yeah.
to.
And I love like people come at me all the time online because I don't cook. Everybody. I can't believe you don't cook. You have a husband, you don't cook. One girl messaged me. I posted a video of my husband cooking something, and she messaged me, send him my way, and I'll show him a good home-cooked meal.
That is the dirtiest,
Is that so?
craziest thing.
I've never blocked anyone with such
I would
haste.
like to see you try it.
The hastiest block.
I
love
love
my
the
young
two
life.
different
I would like
reactions.
to see
I would
you
like
try
to
it.
see you
Try
try
it.
it. And you're like, I've
Yeah.
never blocked someone with
so
such
bad.
haste.
I would love to see it. Oh, see,
I
that's
banished
when
her.
I would respond
I'm
to.
somewhere in between. I'm like, try it, heifer, but then
Yeah.
I block her afterwards.
I immediately called you.
I don't want
and
the
you were
smoke.
like, oh my God.
Like, how
Crazy.
dare you? Is it
But my thing-
1943?
All
Like,
right.
what
You
is
are
Like,
that?
you
so
can cook
weird.
for him, I guess.
I
You want
guess
to.
if you want.
Like,
Damn,
that.
we'll come
up.
to your restaurant
Like,
together.
Period.
It
It was interesting. I was having this discussion with my mom because my mom is in her 40s and single, and she grew up fast. Like she had kids young, had to raise my sister and I by herself, whole thing. And now she's in the phase of her life where she wants male companionship, but she also wants someone to take care of her. And so on one hand, I hear that and I'm like, I hate that for you, diva. Like you
Yeah.
worked so hard to get everything that you have by yourself. Why?
Oh, but
Yeah.
Would
part
you
of me
want
is
to
like,
invite a man into that?
But I'm
then
like,
her
I
argument,
love that for you. Diva.
correct. So now I'm growing and seeing like, duh, she deserves that. That lady has worked hard her whole life. Like allowing a man to come in and like say, get some wine, put your feet up, I got you for dinner.
Yo.
Nothing wrong with
You
that.
know what's funny? When I was getting married, I had this silent fear that my mom, I grew up with a single mom who's like the shit, and she has been single my whole life. Like my mom never remarried or anything, and she did such a good job.
Yeah.
Like she is so good at being independent. She makes it look easy.
Same.
She's the one. And there was this little voice and I finally voiced it to my mom. I said, I feel like I'm letting you down. Like almost like, that I'm giving into a societal standard that you have done so well at showing us all you don't need.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, Taryn,
I don't want this. for
she
you.
was like, I am so happy every day that
Yeah.
my children have found good partners.
Yeah.
And she was like, I've always wanted that for you, to have a partner. She goes, I don't want you to do this by yourself.
Yeah.
She was like, I had to do it by myself and I can. And she goes, and I know you can. That doesn't mean I want you to.
Yes.
And I was like, wow.
It's
Yeah.
an unlock. It
Because
really
we're meant to have partners.
Yeah.
Like whatever
be
that looks
In a
like.
village.
A village, whether it's friendship, whether it's, you
Yeah.
know, a close sibling relationship, we're meant to cohabitate and coexist with each other.
Yeah.
And
And not everyone is meant to get married, but I think
Right.
everybody is meant to be in a pack.
with
To have
somebody.
companionship.
Yeah.
Somebody. I'm not saying it's got to be a man. Listen,
But get
I
you
wouldn't
somebody.
recommend most men to anybody. So
I'm with you.
don't worry.
Yep.
But we are meant to be in existence
There's
with
a
other
lid to
people.
every pot, baby.
There, and my
Yeah.
mom says every cheese has its cracker, even if it's a moldy
Oh,
cheese.
I
Even
love
if it's a
that.
moldy cheese.
Even if
And
it's
she's
not
not wrong.
No.
But I also like my boyfriend, which it's weird just calling him my boyfriend because I call him my husband at home, but I can't give him that kind of promotion
Yeah.
without
Sure.
the proper
Husband.
contract.
Husband.
Yeah,
My
husband.
husband.
My husband. My
My
husband.
friend Ben.
Yes.
He's your friend Ben.
Exactly. Soon come. Soon come.
Yeah.
I have never, like I said, been a person who likes people, like a man in my space for extended period of time.
Don't piss me off.
But when
Don't
he's
piss me off.
gone, I am so sad.
Oh.
I am so sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but it tripped me out because I was like, is this codependency? Because if it is, I need to break this shit right now.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I just really fuck with you. Like,
Yeah.
I know. I
really
rock
love
with you.
you.
I enjoy your company.
You're
That's
my
your
best
guy.
buddy. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
In the same way, like, it alarms me when I haven't seen you in a while.
Oh.
I'm bereft.
Yeah.
I think we border on codependent.
Yeah, well, that's different. I'm down to be codependent with my girls.
With your
I
girls.
grieve your loss. I'm like, where's she at?
We live in the same damn city. 20
literally-
minutes away from each other.
I set
Those
up
be
in
the
the
ones.
middle of the night
Yep.
in LA and I tracked her location and she wasn't at home. So I called her. And
I have to tell
she
the story because this
answered
was
it.
funny.
Or tell the story. What did I say?
Taryn and I never go to Brooklyn ever. It's just a given. We don't cross the bridge.
I don't
for
blame you.
anything.
I don't blame you.
As soon as I crossed, I was with my man. I crossed the bridge and I'm like, I have a feeling Taryn is gonna call me because she is likely tracking me and she's
It's
going
1 a.m.
to
in
see
LA.
that I'm Brooklyn. It's late.
She said, what the hell are you doing across state lines?
I kid you not, 30 seconds later, she calls and he's like, who is it? I believe it's Taryn. And I'm like, it actually is. He lost his mind. He thought it was the funniest thing. I answered the phone crying. I'm like, you'll never believe
She's
what
just
I
laughing.
just said.
And I'm silent on the other end.
Now, if a man did this to me,
yeah.
I'd be angry.
Yeah.
that's weird.
Because why are you
I'd be
tracking
upset.
me?
Because why
But
you
for
work?
me, you're
But
headed
you
to
knew that.
Atlantis.
Yes.
And you didn't think
The
to
forbidden
call?
land?
Yes.
What are you doing there?
What's going on?
No, literally.
What the hell?
So, in essence, these rules don't apply to women, to our
No.
female relationships.
No.
Oh, and I'm
Sorry.
gonna write that is on that note. Oh, talking about relationships,
Oh.
hot takes. I have
Oh.
so many questions about this.
I'm
I
sorry.
want to know, and I want to specifically know. I'm just dying to ask her.
Go.
Okay, Kamie, this has been a topic around me and Tiffany. Me and Tiffany have been talking about this over drinks many a time, and
It's come up a lot.
and
Tell me.
In the
I
past,
think
like,
it's
couple
so
months.
interesting, and I think it's something that's unique to in your later 20s and in your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
What is your thoughts on monogamy versus polyamory?
Let me tell you something.
Girl, I'm strapped in.
Strap in the asshole is about
tell
to
you something.
speak. I'm
That's
sorry. I promise I won't call you that again. I'm sorry.
Did you
Whoa. I will
Let me
never
tell you
do that
something.
again.
tell us, please?
You can call me that anytime. That's my sister called me strep ass all the time. They're so fucking rude. Anyway.
All right, strap ass.
They
Take
do
it
say
away.
that.
Take it away,
They do say
strap
they're
ass.
so fucking rude. That's what I'm saying. You know what? Maybe we're not meant to be in partnership with everybody. Our
Maybe.
sisters. Like, fuck them. Oh, I love them.
Sister
Damn.
code does not apply.
Sister code is
It's something else.
I am a one man type of gal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen. Even when dating, I can't possibly because I'm the type of person. Like when I met my man, first of all, he was the first person that I matched with on Raya.
Period.
My first day on the app.
Wow.
We went on our first date the following day,
She's a one-hit wonder.
and I was
Yeah.
like, "That is my husband.
That's my man.
That's it."
hey.
So, and I did, obviously, I'm not crazy. I stayed on the app until we became official
Mm-hmm.
to just, be like,
I
well,
said
I'm
I
still,
love you to my husband.
You're
on the
not off the
second
market
date.
until
You're talking
Period.
to the right one.
Yeah.
period.
When you know.
I'm a serial monogamous.
Yeah.
And I am
I get it.
just, I can't, like, dating to me, it's either I want to go on a date with you or I don't want to go on a date with you. I matched with some other people and, like, they had asked me about going on dates, but, like, in my heart, I knew this man is my man. So why am I going on a date with you?
Yeah.
So I never went on any other date. He was the only date that I went on in the few months that I was on the app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a partner that was like, what do you think about us
Fuck.
opening this up?
No. But you know what? It's no tea, no shade to anybody who wants to do it. Live your life. I was talking to my friends about threesomes, and I feel that threesomes are reserved for people, for me personally, that you're not in a relationship with. I've never had a threesome. Why? Because I'm greedy. I'm a Scorpio.
No, that's right.
What the fuck are you doing over there with her?
I know myself so well.
Get
I would be
back
like,
over
the
here.
moment his eyes even were like looking at someone else, I'd be like,
No, literally.
It's like that episode of Sex and the City when Samantha
Grab the wig.
literally
Literally me.
looking at.
I said that. I was like, I feel like I would be.
don't look
like,
at her, look at me.
Even if it wasn't my man, like I feel like I would be like so down in the moment, like, oh yeah, we're going together.
Yeah.
Yes. Because the other side of the Scorpio of me is like, yeah, sexy
Like, I
time
could be down.
purr.
Sexy time purr.
But here's the
And then
thing.
you gotta hurt
I
somebody.
am painfully straight. Like, but I do like lesbian porn. I think lesbian porn is better than straight porn.
Cammie's
So much
real.
to talk about because in my new little friend group, the girlies are saying like that's the better porn to watch
It
than
is.
like traditional porn because it's more like romance and
Consensual.
girly centered.
It's like
It's in
ethical.
and
Yes.
it's consensual.
And
It
it's
doesn't-
like-
they're not like,
it's based in passion.
wow, this
Like,
is crazy.
it's
Because
a
the
thing.
titles on straight porn are crazy. Why do
They're
I want to watch
weird.
stepdaughter gets banged by step?
Girl,
What?
what was the book that I just came across? It was like Affair with Bestie's dad.
It was
with a
what?
40-year-old man on the
like,
cover.
Oh, that's
I don't
sick.
wanna
Oh, wait,
see
Now
no.
that.
you know a
I-
man wrote that.
I don't
Take
want
it
to
off.
see
What
that.
the fuck?
Take it
I'm
off.
sorry. I would rather the lesbian porn. Yes, like
That's
it's
the
all
new wave.
sensual, loving.
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
I'm not trying
Wow.
to be her on
Wow.
her.
Yeah.
But like whatever.
But I'd much rather watch her on
I'd
her than
much
him getting his rocks off.
Then him
Yeah.
with his stepchild.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
so
fact-
weird.
Sick.
Or like step
It's
mom.
sick.
I'm done. We're not gonna talk about no, it's weird.
It's
definitely
weird. strange.
There's something so perverse about that. Whereas I feel like it was just like too masseuse.
Yeah, sure.
Two masseuse. Two masseuse on the Zeus. Two the name of your lesbian porn.
Yes.
Two masseuse on the Zeus.
From the zoo.
Written by
Purr.
Dr.
Kill 'em a
Written
zoo.
by Dr.
Yep.
Seuss.
Yes. That sounds lovely to me.
Written
The
by
other
Dr.
shit,
We can't do
gangbang
it.
bukkake bonanza. What?
Cream pie
I'm not
extravaganza.
even clicking it. I don't
Twinkie
even
hole
want to
pop.
click it. Are you kidding me? It makes me. I'm like, this is perverse. This is perverse.
I can't even put my wig
I'll
back
take the
on.
masseuse. Thank you.
No, give
Click.
me Zeus and Kalamazoo, please, by Dr. Seuss.
Click. Thank you.
Oh, the hose that you will know.
It's too much. It's too much. So
I'm
anyway,
screaming.
Wow,
That's
this was
I don't even know
very
how I got
valid.
on that.
That's
But
valid.
oh shit.
oh yeah, the threesomes.
Yeah.
See,
Take
I always
it
come
back.
back. Let me do a wraparound.
Around this back. A full twist about.
Bukkake gangbang bonanza.
That's sick.
In my marriage, we have always been monogamous. It's never been on the table to open up the marriage. But
Yeah.
for folks that I know, for girls that I've talked to, where it came up in their marriage, it was always on the assumption on the man's part that when he says open up the marriage, he means bring a girl into it.
Right. And that's
And
the
I'm
thing.
always
If
like,
you're
what
talking
if you?
about bringing- if you're
Because
talking about
I'd be
bringing
at
a man-
dinner and I'd counter it and be like, all right, so what about we bring
bring 'em
Philip
at
on?
it.
And then they say no.
Yeah, so why
like,
can't? Why
if we
not?
can't
At the
have it both
same
ways,
damn
then I
we
guess
can't
it's
have
not
it a
going to
single
work.
way.
It's
Which
not gonna
brings
work.
up, it's so interesting. Dating now, it has to be a question in the beginning. Are you going to be open to this eventually?
Yes.
Because you don't want to be caught by surprise. And I
No.
know too many people now that are being caught by
But
surprise.
that was like, is that when I want to bring it back? Is that conversation though unique to dating in your late 20s and 30s? Because when I was, the last time I went on a date, I was like 19 years old, but that was never like on the table.
No.
Was that
I
just
think
a
it's
thing back
unique
then?
to these times.
Yeah.
I think very specifically in the year 2025, people are more open and fluid than ever. And so it's not to demonize the fact
Sure,
that you could
sure.
open the relationship, but it's the possibility that one day someone could be open to it.
And
Yes.
let's acknowledge
it's
that
like,
for
am
some
I
people
okay with
that,
that?
and I recognize that for some people probably listening, this works for them.
You should be able to do whatever
Whatever
you
you
want to do
want.
as long
Yeah.
as it's consensual.
And it ain't.
As
not.
for me, I'm not trying to end up in a federal penitentiary
I know that's
because I beat a bitch ass and I killed you.
Yeah.
So
Because now I got to go to jail.
now I gotta go to jail.
Because
It was a fun, goofy night,
It was.
and now I'm in prison.
it was a fun, goofy night. Kill me.
That's what would happen to me.
We were all goofing around at
Thought
the
we were
same damn
Shooting
time.
the shit. Next thing I
And
know,
next
It was a
thing
fun,
I
I'm shooting
know,
you.
goofy night.
Now
No.
I'm in prison.
No.
Oh shit!
I'm
Wait,
not
I would
doing
be your
it.
lawyer so fast. Your Honor, she was just having a goofy night.
She
I
was
was
goofing
just having a
around.
goofy night.
We were being silly
Don't put me
goose.
on the stand.
We were a gaggle of silly geese.
They're gonna be like, ma'am, did you consent to this? Well, yes.
I sure did.
But
And
you
then-
killed him? Well,
I
yes.
sure did.
And then Willow whipped
Zero
out her
guilt.
perfect double D's,
Yeah.
and I got really mad.
And I had to take her out.
Because it's upsetting.
Yeah.
It's upsetting.
Yeah.
But I know that it is common. Like, I was just listening to a podcast recently where this girl was saying, I don't know if you guys have heard this.
Say
You probably
it.
know who it is.
Probably haven't heard it. We
Gang
know
bang,
nothing.
bukkake
She was-
banana.
Cream
she
pie
was saying
extravaganza.
that every year during Memorial Day,
Why
she
Memorial Day?
sucks her best friend's boyfriend's dick.
Ha! Everyone needs to stop talking.
Who said this?
This girl.
Who was that?
Kamie. This girl.
Hold
I
on,
can't
girl.
stand
Wait,
you.
I want to be really, really clear. Why Memorial Day?
Because
That's for the ones who have died.
In
For our
memoriam.
freedoms.
What now? I need background. Why would she tell the world this?
Because
Taps.
How dare you? Taps is playing somewhere in the background and you're
Choking somewhere.
every
Good
year
God.
they're in Nantucket.
See,
Oh, well,
and
then why
that's
didn't you
the
start
first
with that?
mistake. Because now we know.
Now we know.
Nantucket.
Swinger City.
That's where the apple juice
Is
comes
that?
from.
Yeah.
Is it?
Girl,
No,
people
we
go
don't-
out east and swing.
I'm kidding. I didn't know that.
Oh, see. I'm getting in on the
knows the
shit.
tea.
I hate to
You
know.
Is it the
Yeah.
Hamptons, you mean?
Girl, people go out east and swing. Whether you're on the Vineyard, the Hamptons, Tucket,
Yeah.
that's where you go to have a good time. Palm Beach, it's all the same.
It's all the rage.
I gotta lay down.
But that's what she said. She said that every year,
She
Memorial
admitted
Day.
to this on
yes,
the show.
Yes.
In her, she like let her identity be known.
Yes.
That is
And everybody know and said the friend's name.
Okay,
So everybody knew the friend
let's
and the
roll
boyfriend.
back. It's her best friend's man.
Her best friend's boyfriend. Her best friend of her whole life, and her boyfriend of 4 years.
Why?
that is cuckoo
She
bananas.
said that she wanted to see how her best friend fucked because she had never seen her fuck before. I'm like, well,
I don't need to know.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
gonna love you, but
I'm
Uh,
gonna assume that's fabulous.
what can I say?
I'm going.
I'm a
with the-
whole uncle.
Swinging from
What can I
chandeliers.
say?
I'm going in with the assumption that you were the coldest one to ever. Do
I'm
it.
going to assume that you are swinging from chandeliers and making
Pretty
me
solid.
proud as your
Yeah,
homegirl. I'm going to
of course.
assume that if I was in the room, I would be cheering you on. However, I don't desire to be
Need
there.
not confirm.
I don't want to know.
But she said that she, yeah, and that the friend doesn't like sucking dick, so she told her, you know, you can.
I will step
You can do it.
in this stead.
She's
But
like
no,
a-
the friend told her,
It's like
I would like for you to step in and do it, and then she sucks his dick. And
she's like jumping
she
on the
films
grenade.
it.
Oh my
Wait, she
God.
films it?
She films,
Hold on, I gotta put my wig back on.
Girl, put it on, 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 put it on.
she films it.
'Cause
That's
this
what they
is
said.
protection.
That's what they
this too
saying.
much. See,
And
that's
I
when
said,
people
you know
take it
what?
far. You know what? Let me not judge, because I'm not judging.
Enjoy
Yeah,
your
yeah.
life.
Hang on.
I'm not
Let's not
judging.
judge.
Your wig is halfway on.
Enjoy your life, sis.
Let's not judge.
However, comma, me and mine,
Comma.
no.
Don't even
Period.
think about it. That is
What? 'Cause
crazy.
That's crazy.
So in conclusion, I will say that not conclusion. I don't want to conclude this, but my thing is like I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
My thing is just like I would chalk it up to for me. Monogamy really stems from. I will also say I'm really. It's not just. I don't want it to sound like I'm just like, oh yeah, we're just not evolved enough to open up X, Y, and Z. For me as well, I'm really attracted to and turned on by devotion.
Yeah, me too.
Devotion.
To me, it's
that borders
obsession.
on possession,
Obsession
but
and
not
possession.
safely. Yeah.
I'm a Scorpio.
Exactly.
I need you to be so utterly obsessed with me.
Yeah.
The
I'm
thought
not-
of my man, we pretend like he and I have never had relationships outside of each other ever.
I love
I understand
that.
that. And he
That's
has a
so
child.
Scorpio. If you got a whole baby, Kamie.
Immaculate conception.
That baby
Immaculate
is Jesus.
conception. Yes, amen.
Oh my
Love
God.
her down.
Amen.
But we pretend, if I'm like, because I, try to trip him up every once in a while. We'll be watching a movie and I'll be like, have you ever hooked up with a girl that
Looks like that.
looks like that? And he's like, I've never hooked up with anyone other than you. I'm like, hey, exactly.
Alec and I have this ongoing joke. This is so stupid.
The right answer.
Whenever I want to do, like, if I'm like, let's order 7th Street burgers, some of my favorite burgers, and he's like, T, come on, let's let's cook at home tonight. I'll be like, really? Because you're the only man I've ever loved. Like,
So-
you're the only man I've ever loved. I've devoted my entire life to you, and you're gonna say that to me right now.
And how are you gonna say no?
And he's always like, come on, T, come
Yeah.
on,
And then you
T.
get your
Open up
burger.
that
And then I get my
Perfect.
burger. Yeah, no, I understand. Me and my husband also do it. If you ever see us at the gym, no, you didn't. We have a consistent, ongoing joke that whenever he comes over and he's like, yo, T, what you working on? I always go, okay, I'm married. I always
Period.
do it.
Period.
Everywhere. It doesn't matter what's going on. We always play the we just met game. And then he's like, oh, crap, now we're playing the game.
Yeah.
And I will commit to the bit until we get to the car.
Yes.
I will all the way
If
top to
my
bottom.
husband were to see me here with you,
You better hope my husband doesn't come over here.
My God.
So anyways,
Well, as the resident single girl, I'm like, well, damn. I would say I'm more open now than anything. I wouldn't say no to polyamory. I think I would likely hate it in practice.
Sure.
But I'm open to having the conversation.
Sure.
And I
Which is
appreciate
new
that.
because I'm very monogamous. Like, grew up very Christian, monogamous, not
Sure.
into that
Yeah.
shit at all.
Yeah.
But in the year 2025, why not? If I end up in the state pen,
But I
you know
have,
what?
but I have a question.
And that's all.
We'll bail
But
you
I
out.
have a
You
question.
We won't
I'll
ask
be.
any questions.
So regarding dating, let's just go into you're not in an exclusive relationship when you're dating.
Yeah.
Dating in this day and age seems a lot like people will be like, oh, we're not exclusive though. Like
Yeah.
we're seeing each other. And to me, here's interesting. People will be like, we're seeing each other as in we're going on dates frequently. We're going to the grocery store together.
Yeah.
We're doing all these things. I mean, they're even bringing them around your family and stuff.
Yeah.
However, they are still
Non-exclusive.
basically non-exclusive, and I'm going to assume that means that you're not dating every single night someone else, but if someone comes along, you recognize that you're allowed to say yes to going out with them.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really commonly accepted.
Yeah.
How is that any different than polyamory?
I
feel like
mean,
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I
As
think
long
it's
as
like the gateway drug to polyamory, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are more people that are poly than I've ever known. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people,
Same.
it works for them, and
Yeah.
they know about each other, and sometimes they introduce their other partner to their main partner, and sometimes they don't. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it.
Can't. You guys are so evolved. Good for you.
Maybe it makes me unevolved, and I will be that.
I don't, though. I think it makes you human. I think we're
Yeah.
so allowed to question these things in relationships, really.
But I do understand it. It's more so
Yeah.
that I'm like, I don't know how to get past my baser instinct
Yeah.
of like, no, you're mine and I'm yours.
But
Yeah.
here's the other thing, because if my girlfriends were to tell me that they were in a dating situation like that, where
Yeah.
they're doing all these things, I would say absolutely, you better be dating other people,
Yeah.
and you should let his ass know, or
Yeah.
her, or whoever the fuck. You should let them know I am dating other people.
Yeah.
You're not the only person that I'm dating.
Yeah.
It's just such a deeply personal decision that it's like, "Ooh,
Yes.
love it for you." Like, genuinely, you
Yeah.
mean it when you say love it for you, but like, not for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
It is that simple of like,
think
if you were
so.
to tell me that you're like, oh, I'm poly or I'm in an open relationship,
yeah.
I would honestly just be like, oh, cool. Tell me about how does that make you feel? How does that
I
work? Tell me
love
about
to
it.
hear more.
I am
I love to
interested.
hear about it,
Very
especially because I know
fascinating.
I could never do it. I want to know all the tea. So if you
ins
do
and
it,
If you do
Let us
it,
know.
let us know. How does that work for you? How's it
Again,
going?
I may end up in the state pen. That's how y'all know how it went.
I'm definitely going
Yeah.
to jail.
If you get the call.
Or
Definitely going to jail.
If you
or-
get the call.
it's you and two other people, and you guys are having a great time.
I
Yeah.
think it'll be specific to whatever's going on in my personal and business life.
Fair.
If I can maintain mentally and emotionally being involved with a man, then I don't have the need to have sex or be with anybody else. If I
Yeah.
can't maintain all of that because I'm so fucking busy and
Yeah.
juggling, I have no business being in a relationship, period. Like, I don't need to be monogamous to someone because I can't give them all that I got to give.
Fair enough.
So we'll see.
Well, say.
As someone who is dating in your 30s and now you're in a relationship in your 30s, what has courting looked like for you? Being courted, are you a courter?
You know what? I will say, like I said, my boyfriend and I have been together for almost 3 years now. It'll be 3 years in October.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He has a couple more months to ask me to be his wife before.
Oh, I can't wait for
This will be a different episode.
I can't wait
The
for
wedding
this
of the
wedding.
century.
No, we are aligned. We're on the same page. And that's the other thing about dating in your 30s. Like, you have to talk about these things.
It's true. It
Like,
comes
what are
up.
your timelines? What are you looking to do? Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
I'd marry you.
Thank
Me
you.
too, hell.
And I would marry me too. So I'm like, what the fuck is the problem?
Period.
We
Yeah.
got married the first date. He was so intentional. Like, and I had never really experienced that. Like, he was intentional about our first date. He was intentional, like, making sure that we had the first date immediately. And then after that, like, the courting period, like, he one day was like, hey, like, are you hungry? I would love to send you breakfast. And where I would normally probably have been like, I'm good. Like, I've got my own breakfast. Thanks. Like, I probably would have actually taken offense to it. Like, you don't think I can feed myself?
Yeah. I can't get my own breakfast.
You think I'm an idiot?
Do you think I'm an idiot?
I thought it was really sweet. And I let him give me breakfast, and he got it from my favorite place. And, like, I don't remember if he asked me what I wanted, because I think that would have been too much for me. I believe he ordered me the breakfast, and it was exactly what I would have ordered.
What I want without me having to tell you.
I'm screaming.
That's great.
Oh, I was pointing, but yes,
Oh,
also
sorry.
that. Yeah.
The last
Her.
dregs of my wine.
The final
He
dread.
ordered me what I would have ordered.
Without you telling him?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Cammy.
From Blue Jam Cafe in LA.
Wow.
Honey. Yes. Got me that crunchy French
Our
toast.
producer's nodding.
Yummy.
That was
Our
before I was
producer's
gluten-free.
nodding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very delicious.
Sounds
And he got me the orange juice, which is not cheap. It's like $7 for the fresh press,
is
but he
that?
did it. Yeah.
See, men are like,
good man.
what women want too much. Women are asking for it. Well, she just wants to get a breakfast. Damn.
just
and the
want a
gag
crunchy French
is,
toast.
if they wanted to, they,
They
would.
would.
They would. And he was like that often about other things. Like I remember our first date was amazing. And like I would have given him 10 children on that day.
Period.
Okay,
But
so
I have a strict no kissing policy.
wait, no kissing on the first date?
No.
She's
I-
the Sahara
she said-
Desert.
No.
No sex. No,
No.
kissing.
No.
No hugs.
No poly.
Daps
No
up
poly.
Only.
She is a vanilla queen.
I
No
prefer
gangbang,
that.
bukkake,
No.
cream pie, shut it.
Extravaganza banana.
No. Strep ass, yes.
Strap ass.
The rest of it, no. I just feel like we gotta, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
I don't know you. And this is an honor to kiss me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the first date, no kissing. Although he was like, I would have absolutely kissed you and more on the first date if you would have allowed. But he was like, I knew that I wanted this to keep going. So, like, I didn't try.
Mm-hmm.
Second date, we went to get dinner, and then afterwards long story, but we lived blocks away from each other, but had never run into each other. Not at Trader Joe's, not at anywhere. Like we never saw each other in the wild.
Yeah.
Except for the one time I saw him in the wild, but that was a long time ago. That's a long story. I'm not talking about that story.
Okay.
I will, but
She's not
later.
talking about that.
Uh-huh.
So stop asking.
Don't
Stop.
ask.
Leave me alone.
Stop asking. She's not telling you, people. Magazine. Stop ass.
So we went to dinner the second date, and then afterwards I assumed that he was going to take me home because I live around the corner from him. But he was like, would you like to come back to my place and like have a glass of wine? So in my mind, I'm like, this motherfucker thinks he's getting some tonight.
Yeah.
He's not getting shit.
He's not
Sneaky ass. Trying to lure me into a damn trap with your fucking red
I'm
blend,
fucking-
bitch.
What do you think?
You motherfucker pissing me off.
Don't get on my nerves.
Don't piss me off.
So me, I'm like,
Date's gone great.
yeah, everything was
until
perfect.
now.
And then
Everything
he's
was
like, do you want a
perfect.
glass of wine at my house? And
He
she
like
goes, "Don't piss
kissed
me
my
off."
hand at dinner, and I flooded my basement. So I was really like, oh god,
Not
this
flooded
is
my
a,
basement.
a
I hope you got insurance. Just
This
kidding.
is I'm being tested. So we go to the grocery store, and he was like, stay in the car, I'll go get the wine. And I was like, how do you know what I want? And he was like, Sauvignon Blanc or Sancerre, because that's what I asked
is
for
what we're
at dinner.
drinking right
At
now.
dinner, he's
That's what we're
paying
drinking right now.
attention.
Paying attention. I was like,
Cammy, locked in.
I got this is Sancerre. I bought
I
this
love it,
Sancerre.
and that's why I love it.
Do I
Delicious.
get a little
It's
something?
light
Savoring
and
it.
great.
Yeah, girl.
Not till the
Okay.
third
After.
date. She done put
Right?
out.
Yeah. This is only our second date.
Damn.
So
We've lost the rails. It's
So he goes in, he gets the wine. He came back with Sancerre. Actually, you know what? He did not tell me what he was going to get. He said, I've got it. He came back and he had a Sancerre and he had a Sauvignon Blanc.
Whoa.
Shook.
basement's gone
I'm
at
shook.
this point.
But then you're
a
like,
mudslide.
2 bottles?
It's
What's
down the
wrong
road
with
at
you?
No,
this point.
now you think you're going to get me drunk.
Now you're going to get me drunk?
Because now
believe
you're
it.
angry.
Yeah, and you're going to take advantage. No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because
Yeah.
I'm awake.
Every
We go to
We're gonna steal that because I'm awake.
a man will propose with a gorgeous 10-carat
The
marquise
fuck
diamond.
you think this
And
is?
Cammy goes, no, you see this right here?
I'm awake.
I'm awake. This
You
is a
think
trick.
you can fool me?
This is a trick. I'm a Scorpio. Everything is a trick. Everything is
suspicious.
you have ulterior motives, and I'm on to you.
Yeah.
Then we go to his house, and he plays a movie.
Oh, no.
So you're really
And he
on to
puts his hand on my thigh as we're talking. And I said, he thinks this is going to be something, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Didn't try a thing.
Wow.
We really sat and watched the movie.
Wow.
And we really talked for hours.
Wow.
And then he said, I'll take you home. And then he took me home. And I'm like, well, surely he's going to kiss me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Girl, nothing. A big hug.
A big
I went up to my apartment and thought about this man like a rabid animal. I was like, I'm obsessed with him because he didn't try to do anything that he didn't think I was comfortable with. Like he did not try at all. But then I said, oh, next time I see him, I'm fucking him 1000%. And I did.
She pulls her wig forward. Next time I see him, I'm not fucking him
fucking him on
100%.
sight.
1000%.
On site.
So as far as courting, like that was the trajectory. It was just like, it was slow, it was steady, and it was like building up to something.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the relationship was like that too. It was just like, but it was active. Like 6 months in, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And, you know, we had like gotten off the apps right before that. Like when we realized that things were getting like, you know, it was progressing.
serious.
He helped me pack up my apartment and like move into my first home. Like I was like, yeah, like you're a real one. But I had to see it. And he made sure that I saw it before we like took any extra moves. But he let me know, like even when he asked me to be his girlfriend, he said, you know, we're grown. So like asking you to be my girlfriend sounds a little, I don't know, like
a little juvenile.
a little juvenile. Exactly. Per.
I was gonna make that
For the
same
99 and
joke.
the 2000.
Do it.
Fuck
Throwing
you.
it back for the 99 and the 2000.
Per.
Girl, you're working with some
Running
magic.
to the dance floor. Running to the dance floor for him.
Always.
But he was like, I see a future for us, and I would like to start that future now if you're ready for that. And I was like,
Yeah,
Yes.
I am.
And then you were sitting there
Yes.
and you said, yes, I'll be your girlfriend. And then you turned back and you thought to yourself, but my eyes are open.
my eyes are.
But I can see
I am
this.
awake.
Don't try
I'm
to
awake.
fool me.
I'm awake.
I'm awake.
What do you think this is?
For sure. I feel like the art of courting is lost on this younger generation of
It
men.
is.
I don't know what they're out here doing, but
Can I
it's
say
not
something?
that. Please do.
Please.
Coffee is not a date.
Speak on it.
Coffee is not a date.
Mm.
I could get coffee
Mm.
with anyone. I could get coffee with my
Now,
dog.
devil's
You're
advocate.
right.
Devil's advocate.
Say it.
What if this is someone listening and they're like, yeah, but like I'm like, coffee's all that. I'm not comfortable with going outside at night. I want you to come to me and then I want to get to know you because we're strangers, especially people on the apps. I could see why they would want to do coffee.
Daytime drinks, mocktails. The cost of a cup of coffee is the same as the cost of a cocktail.
You're
So
right.
for you,
the
it's
casualness
about
of it all.
it's just
The
about how
casuality.
low.
It's just it's low hanging fruit. Like we could go get burgers and sit in a park bench.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
all I care. Like, it doesn't have
Meanwhile-
to be something grand, but like coffee, like
Yeah.
let's go get coffee. This just sounds like something that's going to end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're dedicating an hour of our time till these drinks get cold, and then we're going
Yeah.
our separate ways.
I will totally say one of the men that is courting me, I'm dating. I don't really know what to say what we're doing right now. We'll take this out, but what? Who knows? God bless him. Nonetheless, he
It's happening.
did say he did say this on after we went on our first date. He's very particular about how he does a first date because to your point, coffee doesn't really cut it, but neither does grabbing, you know, a casual drink either. So he's like, if I do a drink, it has to be paired with something afterwards. And
There
his
we
paired
go.
with something was walk in the park and we sat on a bench and talked for 2 hours.
There
but
we
he's
go.
like, I will never properly court a woman by just taking her out for one drink. I love that. Not that I had ever really been on any other date that wasn't like getting a drink or whatever, but I love the intentionality of him saying it. Like that's just not something you'll catch me doing.
Yes.
Now I will say this person is older than me, so I for sure anticipated this because he's older and
Yes.
he's just of a different
You know
generation.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So younger boys, if you're listening,
They're
men,
not.
they're not.
I don't know what y'all
Girlfriends,
doing.
send
Yeah,
this
right.
to your girlies. This will be a clip for socials.
Yes.
Courting is an art, and it is not one that needs to be lost. I think the girls deserve it, truly.
There are birds in the Amazon giving more than the man you went on your last date with. There's a bird in the Amazon that makes a special nest, and then he steps outside of it, and he goes,
Yeah.
and he like moves his little chest around, his tail gets big, he's like,
They do
he's
Real
like
impressive.
moving his ass around, and then a girl bird comes, and he's like, oh yeah, you like this?
Yeah.
He's fucking it up.
And the girl's like, I don't know. And he's going, because
My eyes are open.
And my eyes, I'm awake.
Because I'm awake.
And he still does it anyway.
Yes.
And then she flies away, and he goes, hurt. I watched this
Hurt.
clip the other day.
There
He
we
was
go.
like, hurt. This male bird literally recouped.
He
He
composes
was like, let me get it
himself.
together.
He said, oh.
Remade his little
That
nest
didn't work.
thing, his little structure.
Round
Okay.
two.
Then he waited.
Uh-huh.
Another bitch comes along. He goes, here we go. You like that? He was giving it. He dedicated all day to this. And you're going to ask a woman to coffee?
Yeah.
No.
Don't.
And you just
That's
stop
not
the
enough.
book?
That's not enough.
I
Or
don't
ice cream.
know.
Ice cream.
Ice cream?
Now coffee and ice cream.
No,
Maybe.
becomes a date?
A walk?
Wow.
Maybe.
That's doing it.
And a walk.
And
We
a
need to have-
walk.
I don't want to think that if I'm coming to coffee with you, we're at this Starbucks. Like, what is this, a job interview?
Mm-mm.
Should I bring my
crazy.
resume?
Because that's on period. At that point, we might as well be interviewing each other.
I'm over it.
Cammy.
Wow.
It's a
Go
no for
Kamie.
Mm-mm-mm.
Go Kamie. Go Kamie.
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, really.
I need to see this clip of this bird, though.
I know.
Because you really
so
sold it.
funny.
If you didn't do it as well as you did it, then I don't
I'll
want to
show
see
I
it
it.
can
to you.
imagine
It's
him.
really good. I liked it. I'll send it to you later.
This is a departure from where we were before. But I feel like we still want to know this about you because as our resident confidence queen, I mean, really, we do look to
Aw.
you in
Oh my
so
God,
many
so
ways.
many ways.
Y'all.
In so many
I
ways.
can't.
So
Thank
many
you.
ways. There's a reason why you are our first guest
Yeah.
ever. And you are, when we ever like, would we do guests? The answer was not yes. It was, oh, well, what about Kamie Crawford?
What about Kamie?
And then like a maybe. Like for everything else.
Yeah.
It's just like
Wow.
we just like you so much.
Mhm.
And
feel very blessed.
the way that you move through the world and the way that you have moved, I respect so much.
Thank you.
And
Queens.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I
true.
think it's so tired to be like, you're so authentic. I don't like that word because it's lost its meaning because we've overused it. And it's such an important idea. The idea of standing in your truth and being who you are.
Yeah.
And whether people like it or not. That's really impactful.
Yeah.
And you do that and I really like that.
You
People
do
who
it so
like
well.
it will stay. The people who don't will get the fuck out of my way.
Hey,
And I like that.
Oh.
Why are you here?
period.
If you
What-
don't
what's
like
going
it,
on?
there are plenty other people for you to follow.
And
Oh my
that's the
God, that's so
gag.
true. I have got to take on this mindset.
She's brilliant.
I have got to get
What can
there.
I say?
What can she say? So
Yeah,
with
smoke
that
your
being
cigarette.
said, we would love to know, how do beauty standards, insecurities, all of this play into your public persona? Does it? Do you even consider what the world considers beautiful when you're getting ready every day?
Does
Is
it get in your head ever?
Sports Illustrated, like all
I mean,
of
it
that?
helps that you're super beautiful.
Oh.
So
At
there's
minimum,
that.
that's that. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have multiple feelings about this. I mean, obviously, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
So, like anyone, I'm always looking to improve. There's always things that, like, I am my harshest critic, I think, like everybody else.
For
but
sure.
my mother is a Jamaican Aries woman
Mm.
who raised me and my sisters to believe that we are the best.
Mm.
We are the brightest. We are the most beautiful. There is nothing that we can't achieve. And I feel very blessed to say that I was raised by somebody like her, but also I understand that there are a lot of women and a lot of people who were not raised by somebody like her, who encouraged them, who talked kindly to them, just like basic mothering things that I think are basic that like a lot of people did not receive.
Yeah.
So I feel very lucky in that sense, and I always say I wish everybody could be raised by my mom. I mean, I'm sure everybody's moms here are great, but I wish everybody could be raised with like that sense of just like purpose, beauty, like from within. Like it wasn't just enough to be beautiful on the outside. My mom would always say there's nothing worse than a pretty bitch, so don't be one.
Yeah.
Like you
Period.
need to be kind to match the outside, you know? So I didn't grow up with a mom. I grew up with a mom that was very confident. I didn't grow up with a mom who talked badly about herself when she looked at herself in the mirror. She never talked badly about her body. Like I didn't grow up with that, and I have been someone
that's
who's
so important.
it's
Yeah.
very important.
It is.
My weight has fluctuated my entire life, and I've been everything from a size 0 to a size 10, and I've been confident everywhere in between. When I'm not feeling confident is when I know that I am not at my personal best. Like when I don't feel like I am doing the things that I've promised myself, when I feel like I'm breaking promises to myself.
Yeah.
That I don't like.
Wow.
So as someone who has newly found the gym as of the past like 4 years, I know when I don't feel right, like when I feel sluggish, when I feel, because then I slack off in work, I slack off in everything else. So those kinds of things get to me, but it's more of a personal thing. It's not really like I'm seeing somebody on the internet and I'm like, oh, I wish, like, you know, but it is a thing. Like it's a factor. We can't act like it's not a factor,
Right.
especially in today's dating world. Like I don't envy the young girls. I don't envy them. I don't envy the kids of today's generation because they're dealing with a dating landscape with young, immature people in general on top of social media and like the access that gives. And the fact that, you know, for my sisters, I have 5 sisters, all younger. The youngest 2 are 18-year-old twins.
Oh.
But for an 18-year-old, you can go on TikTok right now and see another 18-year-old living across the country from you who's making 6 figures or more, who has the body of a 24-year-old and the face and everything to match. And your instinct naturally is like, oh my God, like if that's what girls are looking like at my age, like I should be looking like that.
Right.
We didn't really have that, I feel like, growing
Not
up.
at all. And that wasn't, I mean, I'm 28, so I wasn't 18 that long ago. And like, I didn't feel, frankly, I at 18, I was very much a kid still.
Yes.
And I was able to be a kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was very much able to be a kid and able to still, like
have childish wants and dreams and
yeah,
wonders.
and be
A
able to,
chapstick. You know, little,
yeah.
what is it?
I wasn't thinking about whether or not my body was sexually desirable. Even
Yeah.
at 18, yes, I was technically legally an adult, but mentally, I was very much. I wasn't thinking about those things.
Yes.
Or if we were thinking about it, were you anything like me in that you were thinking, oh, I still have growing to do? Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
need to be done.
I would
I'm gonna
literally
grow
refer
into
to
it.
myself as a kid.
Yeah.
Another thing that I always want to start talking about this. Every time I get on TikTok, there's like 9 swipes before I can get to like a funny video or a normal video. Because the first 9 swipes are TikTok shop, and it's people being like, here is 3 things you're not doing to be a siren. Next one.
No.
Here's 3 things.
Give me a
like
break.
here is 2 things that you can. What if I told you you could be hotter by going to sleep by taping your mouth closed and your eyeballs?
I did get the mouth.
And then
Did
it work?
you? Because that scares me. What happened?
Well, my 18-year-old sister got it first.
Damn it.
And then she convinced us all to get it.
Okay.
I don't know if it really made a difference.
What
So
is it
it's
supposed
like-
to do? Like inflammation?
Like you're supposed to like
It's
tighten
supposed to
your
snatch
jaw.
your jaw, but mainly she said that she got really good sleep. And I struggle with sleep. So I was
Okay,
like,
fair
oh.
enough.
But I feel like, I mean, I don't know.
But it's
I
just
gotta
the
break it
swipe
back out.
after swipe after swipe of like, here's what I used to look like, and here's what I look like now. And all I had to do was buy this machine that I bounce on for 30 minutes every day
Yes.
while I watch a show.
Yes.
And it's like, I get it. That's great. I actually think I like beauty products. I like all things beauty. I'm interested in that. I like good skincare. I like it.
Yeah.
But the idea that I can't get away from this idea that whatever you're doing now is not
good
enough.
Yeah.
You every night that you go to sleep, you're a step away from being as hot as you could be.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's exhausting.
It's
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And there's this part of you, and I'm gonna be completely honest. There's a part of me. I'm 50-50, warring with myself. There is part of me that goes, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want to have fun. I want to be loud. I want to spend time with people that I love. I want to build a life that's real and colorful and fun and exciting. And then there's this other part of me that wants to be pretty.
That says add to cart.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
wants to be desirable. That wants to keep my husband's eye. Now, granted, I love my husband. He's always like, T, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
You look great. That's my husband all the time. He's great. This is all coming from me.
Yeah.
And I will also say, like, from societal standards and from social media.
Yes.
But these 2 parts war, and I feel like I don't want it to sound like I'm copping out by blaming social media, because a huge part of it is
plays a giant
Yeah.
role.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, like I'll be doing really well, and then I'm just on TikTok, and like those 9 scrolls, I'm like, I need to get off, because after 9, I'm starting to look in the mirror and be like, do I have a double chin? Should I start taping my mouth? And then I'm like, oh my God, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
But it's also like you have to acknowledge it's not normal what we do being on social media.
Yeah.
Like it's not normal to see yourself as much as we do.
No.
I don't think we were ever meant to see ourselves as much as we do in general.
Yep.
And then add being a social media influencer, being on television. Like
Having
think-
access to the best of the best beauty products
Yes.
and services.
And then when you're
Yes.
editing yourself, I'm looking at myself and listening to the sound of my own voice for like 6 hours while I edit, you know, a
Yes.
big piece of content, which is like, I enjoy creating, but there is a level of like, I'm tired of looking at my own face. or hearing my own voice.
And that's very real. Like
Yeah.
I think honestly being on Catfish, I had to just get rid of the mindset that I need to look good all the time. I think coming from like the pageant world and like modeling, like where every angle matters, they put that camera right underneath my chin at the worst spot on my worst side every single time. So like it kind of just like goes out of my head now. Like I could look like shit right now.
You don't.
Honestly.
I promise you don't.
Oh, you don't.
But the fact of the matter is, you don't care either way.
It is what it is.
I love that.
But at the same time, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
So like there are still times where I'll see a photo of myself and be like, oh my God. Like I know when I've fallen off. Okay. And then you get the comments from people being like, is that a pregnancy belly? Or like any kind of
we just talked about that last week when the episode we just filmed. We just talked about that, and what the hell?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, because what if I went on your page and wrote the same thing under your last picture? Is that a pregnancy belly?
Is that a pregnancy?
Oh my God. Can you imagine like coming to somebody, and this is how I describe it to people who are not influencers or not like a public person. If I were to come to your job and sit down next to you at your cubicle and say to
Half the
you,
things you said to me.
have you gained weight? It looks like you've gained weight. It looks great on you. Shut the fuck up. Why are with this backhanded shit? I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't think that we should be commenting on people's bodies, period.
Yeah.
But especially when it comes to like pregnancy, you don't know what people are going through. These kinds of conversations are very sensitive. And so for people who leave these careless comments, or I cannot tell you how many comments I've gotten from people being like, I liked you better before. I liked you better with your hair before. I liked you better when you didn't have makeup. I like you better with this makeup. I like you better.
Like, how bored can you be?
What if I did that to you?
Yeah.
Every day while you're doing your job, came up to you and gave you all of these unsolicited comments and advice about your appearance. Would you like that?
And the idea is, and I would say it's a rule of thumb, if you wouldn't say it in person,
you wouldn't say that shit to my face.
And then you're thinking, but no, it's the same thing. Because in person, this is my first impression. So like if you come up to me, which I would love, I love when you come up to me and shake my hand, you likely wouldn't be like, and by the way, you're looking plump.
Yeah.
Like, that's
like
crazy.
what? We were talking last week about how I've gotten that comment. It's like, I can tell
online or in real life?
Online.
Oh, I'm like,
you're plumper. No. In fact, every interaction I've had in person has been totally great and normal.
Yes.
And I know that's not true for everyone, but it has been for me, and I'm really grateful for that. But DMs are a different story. And, you know.
Like, why do people feel so empowered to speak so poorly to people they do not know?
Very
and not
behind
even
that
talking about us.
Crazy.
I look at other people's pages. Let's even talk about people that aren't necessarily, you know, like this major creator or whatever. Like anybody. The way you comment on, let's say a video comes up of someone you don't know. Yeah. It's someone you don't know that's on a reposted site. So that comes up a lot, right? It's just a viral video that got reposted somewhere else. I'm shocked when I go to the comments of even people, I'm going to throw this out there, that I know. Like I kind of know we roll in the same circle, and they're probably assuming that no one's going to see this comment. And it's not necessarily mean, but it's like, it's a comment on their appearance, or like, LOL at her eyebrows. I'm a comedian, all right? I make jokes, and I get that. I make jokes all the time. We are funny, and that's okay. But I am always on the internet with the mindset that the person who's in this viral video, they're gonna find this video.
Yes.
And I promise you, as somebody who has been in that position, I go to the comments. Yeah. I do. I just want to see.
Yeah.
They're gonna read it. Assume everything you put out there. They're gonna read. The person you're talking about, even if it's not on their page, they're gonna see it. Yeah. Would you say it to them in person? How do you feel about them knowing that you said that? Are you cool? And I maybe a lot of people are just gonna be like, I don't care what they think. I don't care.
Well, there are a lot of people who say like, well, if you're a public person, you're putting yourself out there to be judged. Like I've gotten that comment a million times.
I've gotten
like,
it too.
You were literally in a pageant. You put yourself out there to be judged. But did you put yourself in a position to be hateful? Like, is that something that you woke up today and decided you wanted to do? Yeah. And also, like, what do you get out of this? What do you get out of this? Because the reality is that you don't have the courage and the fucking audacity to do it yourself. And that is why you're under these comments talking shit about other people who have the balls to be who you've always wanted to be. So just say, and this is what I always say. This is what I always say. That.
That's exactly how
I feel.
Roll the clips.
That. I always say, it's okay to just say I'm beautiful.
Period.
It's okay to just say that.
And so that's my thing, and that's crazy to me, is that it's one, and frankly, I will say, it is, there's also a difference between being like, I don't really like the dress she's wearing. All right, fine. They're on a red carpet.
Put it in your group
it's
chat like a
fashion,
normal
yeah.
person.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I also
even
like,
then
some of
I'm
the
like,
things
"Ugh."
that we see online. It's like, bro, I don't care what you say. If you're just like, oh, when we shrug our shoulders and go, oh well, it's the internet, it's a lost cause. This is a reflection of our society. This is a reflection of our community. It's a digital version of our community, and it is very real.
Yes.
And so when we shrug our shoulders and say, oh well, it's just the internet, you put yourself out there, it's the way it goes. No, I refuse to accept that we can't be better as a collective. I refuse.
Like, where does that
Because-
boundary end in your mind then?
While we are on the internet right now, if I catch you outside,
She's awake.
To bring it back, Kamie
awake.
will fuck you up. So
thank you. I'm from the DMV.
I know that's right.
I don't play shit like that. I
I
will.
love her.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. And just now, when you see Kamie's face, you go, oh no. But luckily, I've got my two friends with me. Right behind her, Crow. Me and Tiffany
we
appear.
emerge from the back.
Fog
Exactly.
appears. A wolf howls in the distance.
Oh.
Oh, it's me and Tiffany arrive. Thriller begins.
And then the bird comes out.
The version.
You like that shit? Come on.
And then Juvenile throwing it back to the 99 and the 2000. And that's it.
Damn, this.
And then you know you're in trouble.
Okay.
All right. I feel like this is
Right.
a
I
good
think that
place
was
to
that.
call it.
I
So,
know. This
hold on. I know I could talk to Kamie all
Why?
day.
Kamie, we love
Can we
you.
come back on the pod?
I would love to.
This is not going to be like the one and done. I think you should come on the pod all the time.
I think I should be a
often.
reoccurring
Character.
member.
Oh my
Aligned.
God.
For guests,
Aligned.
yeah.
Thank God. We would
Please.
love to have you back.
So much to talk about.
I'm your
And we're
girls,
actually,
too.
I'll plug it now as a reminder to the audience. We're doing a smut book club.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently
Ooh.
reading Quicksilver.
By Callie Hart.
And it's just nasty.
Really?
You have to read it with us.
Little dirty.
I don't read, but
You
Period.
can now.
I hear it's excellent.
Audiobooked also. We can do
Trust,
that.
you can probably read it in
I
about 3 hours.
can. I've heard reading is excellent.
I've heard reading
I
is
love
grand.
it, Kamie.
Throwing it out there. You can join the book club if you'd like, and we can all chat about it.
It'll be a good time. Catch up, guys.
Kamie, anything else you want to plug to the audience? Anything you got going on?
Relationship airs every single Friday. You can listen to We Are Your Own.
You can listen to one or the other. Choose wisely. No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
relationship. You have a choice. No, listen to both.
Back to back.
Every single Friday, wherever you get your podcasts. And then you can follow me at Kamie Crawford on everything. I'm talking my shit wherever I see fit.
Period.
That's how it's done. Don't piss her off
Goodbye.
because she's awake. I don't know what we're talking about next week. We're not that organized. And I
Wait,
wish we
I know,
were.
I know.
No, we don't, Tiffany. We don't know. Oh, we do know.
We do know.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Oh my God, I love that.
I'm really sorry
It's
because
okay.
you are a co-producer of the show.
No,
and
it's
I'm
alright.
sorry.
Right here.
That was
Next
really
week,
crazy.
we're talking about fame. See you then.
And don't forget,
We're your girls. We love you, Kamie.